What's up, guys? We got a little thing going on here with ball joint presses today, and I just want to do a review on this ball joint press. This is the 22 piece, I think, master kit from Temu. It doesn't really have a brand name, but obviously made in China. And then we've got some brand name kits here. These are the Astro kit 7865, and then the Goliath, which is the extra large one, and that one 78100. So just taking a quick look, doing comparison overall, the C-Press here, size-wise, is a little bit skinnier. The actual casting and stuff is thinner than this one. Now, it does have a little bit more throat space, but not too much. I can see it looks like it's almost bent a little bit, but maybe it's just the casting and it's not 100% right. We just did one ball joint with it and it did work. I had to heat up the knuckle a little bit to get the ball joint to let go, but it had no problem doing the ball joint, so I was, pleased with that. The main nice thing about this kit is obviously all the spacers and adapters. So as you can see, when you buy the run-of-the-mill kit that pretty much everybody buys, you miss out on a bunch of cups and adapters, and it becomes aggravating when you're trying to stack up a set to get the ball joint out. And it's like, oh, I need this other cup, or I wish I had this piece. And luckily I've got two of these kits, and I've been able to make it work where it's like, okay, if I use two of these ones, then I can make it work. But if you just have this kit, it feels like you're just shy all the time on pieces that you need. So this one comes with different ones with cutouts and stuff like that, and just a bunch of extra pieces. Like this one comes in this kit. Now, comparison wise between the actual pieces, you can see the Astro ones are much thicker. They're a better build quality as far as I can tell. The overall dimensions are pretty much the same. It's just the metal's thicker, so it's going to be able to hold up to a lot more pressure. And when we tightened this one down first before heating it, I could see this thing was starting to stretch quite a bit, which is to be expected for the size of it, right? It's just a thinner material. I haven't cast it as thick as this, and I'm sure that's just to use less material and for shipping reasons probably, but hey, for the price of it, it's not too bad. This whole set, I believe, sells for about $160 Canadian. And then I was just looking up basically this set from Astro, which they sell a master set. It's identical to this, and it is about $240-ish on Amazon from what I could see. Those prices might be a little outdated, but let's just say $250. And then I recently just purchased this one, which is called the Goliath, and it's just got a bunch of extra throat space for doing those larger stacks when you get into ball joints like this that have a long stud, or you get into a weird angle and you need that extra depth to stack up spacers. So this one comes with your regular length threaded rod, and you also get a short rod, which is fantastic. I think this is great. So I really wanted this. Somebody in the live stream mentioned it, and I was like, I gotta have it, obviously. So here's the kit right here. They call it the ball joint service tool and master adapter set, and this is the Temu version. So yeah, we're basically just reviewing the Temu version today. I just wanted to use these as a comparison to show you the sizes of the actual pieces. That one's a closer comparison, but we'll see how these hold up. Obviously, we do a bunch of ball joints here in the shop, so we're going to be using this set more often, and we'll just basically put it to the test. This is a cool piece too. So this goes into the end of the threaded rod. There's some O-rings that are in here. But anyhow, you take this piece out and then put this one in, and it's a much shorter one. It goes into stuff like this one right here. You can see how that sits in there flush, and same with this guy over here. Obviously, some of the tolerances are not exactly perfect. Like that one's much closer compared to this one. Maybe it'll be different on this side. Yeah, there's much more slop in there. So as far as lining it up, it's not going to be as good as the Astro one, but it still does the job, and for cheaper. You get all this stuff for less, which is great. The other thing I noticed too was with this kit, once again, it just boils down to precision, right? You've got some pieces that have like a raised section, and it's supposed to fit in there like that. And this one, it does not. And at least, actually, maybe it was the other way around. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, so that doesn't fit in there. So once again, this comes down to precision. That's what you get. But hey, it works. I was still able to stack everything up and do the job, no problem. It's just, it didn't 100% fit together. But that's what you get on Temu. And like I say, it all boils down to price. You want to be cheap and get the set, you get it on Temu. You want to get the precision stuff so everything's pretty well perfect, then you fork out the extra money and buy this set. So let's just do a little demonstration. All right, we're gonna just heat this up now. This is just gonna help that ball joint let go. Puts a lot less stress on the tool. Let's hit this with the impact, see what happens here. There we go, we broke her free. Now I can only go so far with the way this is set up. I would have to have this flipped the other way around, but because I changed this ball joint out and pressed it in, I have no choice. See, I don't have any room. If I flip this around, and this is going to run into this. So I'm completely bottomed out now. I'm gonna have to back off and then switch up my tactics to put some more spacers on here so that I can bring the ball joint out further. Or at this point, now that I've started this, I could finish it off with either the air hammer or a regular hammer, but let's continue trying to get it out with this tool. It's like playing Jenga. All right, pretty much just start that ball joint in there. I'm just hammering this thing. And then this knuckle on these F350s, F250s, I think it's a Dana 60 axle, but they're on sort of a weird angle. So you see I've pre-cleaned the hole to try to make the ball joint go in nice. I'm trying to find a cup here. I think I'm gonna use this one because remember we gotta use the threaded part on this side. And this has got a nice little spot for that to go into. So we're gonna do something like this. And then I need some sort of cup that will just go around that hole to let the ball joint sort of pass through. It's not gonna come out too far, but something like this, that's just gonna sort of cup around there. Here's the weird thing though. Like I say, this is on an angle. So if you look at that from up top, it's not gonna sit flat. And here's the shitty part is like, this part is flat. So it's gonna come down and sort of like wanna go like this, and it's going to want to slip off, I guarantee it. That's the only shitty thing. There's no, none of these cups are cut on an angle. That's the only complaint that I have, but it seems like none of these kits have that. Might be a specialty cup that you need to buy. Worked at the Chrysler dealer, we had a whole toolbox full of them. All right, we're just gonna try to burp it with the gun, see if this just takes it in a bit. Looks like it's going in the way it's supposed to go. I'm just gonna re-straighten this and adjust it. And I feel like that's just the way this thing's gonna be, is for these weird ones like that are on strange angles, you just gotta constantly readjust. That's my only other complaint is like, I know they're not magnetic, but it sucks when you're trying to stack these damn things up. And they're just constantly like, yeah, it's just a juggling act. And everything's got to get lined up perfect before you hit the trigger. Okay. Something like that. That's just got to make sure we're going in straight here. I don't want it to, you can see how this is starting to protrude now. So you just have to make sure that's going to go inside the cup and it's not going like that and we're murdering the bottom of the ball joint. Now we're getting to the point where it's just going to pull this over sideways and not want to go in properly. So we got to figure out a different way to do this. It was just pretty much all about lining that up. Okay, so I did manage to get it in. Simply just had to use this piece here and then sort of balance it on an angle like so, which actually kind of worked out decent. So luckily got that figured out, and then we just obviously take a look and make sure that the ball joint is seated down on the knuckle there, and everything looks pretty good. So yeah, as far as this kit goes, I would probably give it like a 7 or 8 out of 10. I mean, for the price of it, it's not bad. I mean, a while ago, I remember obviously the Snap-on truck, you're going to spend thousands of dollars for something like this. But even in the aftermarket world, I was like, okay, $500 or $600 to get something like this. But nowadays, you can just a couple clicks online, boom, $150, $160 for this. Dude, it makes your life so much easier. So yeah, if you like this or want this or want to buy this for somebody, we'll have a link in the description. But yeah, hopefully you found this video helpful. Give it a thumbs up if you did. And don't forget to subscribe. Makes really helps us out more than you know. And yeah, I guess we'll catch you in the next one.